Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the six figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information.
Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. I'm Lucy McMonagle. I am the host, and I am on a movement to create this world a better place. If you are listening to this, please make sure that you share this episode with your friends, your family, and your tribe, because together as a collaborative, we can all do our part to create conscious wealth, create conscious communities, and to make this world a better place. Stay tuned for our next featured guest. Welcome to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. Today, I am so incredibly excited. We have Megan Torres, and she is a corporate trainer, but she's also a professional, intuitive, and entrepreneur, and she's been doing this for over 10 years. So if you have a few moments, grab a pen, grab a paper. We are going to have a powerful interview today so that you can move your business and your life forward. Megan also uses her expertise for manifestation and quantum leaping in order to be of service to the fellow business owners and entrepreneurs in the expansion of their income, allowing them to achieve 6 and 7 figures in revenue. So if you're looking to get to the 6-figure mark, the multiple 6-figure mark, or even the $1 million per year mark, make sure you mark this and pay attention. So Megan, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Wow, you have been in the corporate arena training and in helping the corporate people, but now you've decided to move into utilizing all of your gifts that you have, your natural intuitive gifts and your expertise of entrepreneurship to help other fellow entrepreneurs and business owners. Can you tell us a little bit about the transition on how you went from corporation to being your own business owner and helping other business owners?
Yeah, sure. So my experience goes back for about 10 years now. I've been in sales, and I've also owned and operated a nonprofit and have been a consultant in many people's businesses, from chiropractic offices to just solopreneur businesses. And what I really saw between corporations and entrepreneurship is that a lot of the entrepreneurs are engaging in an intuitive sense, right? They're using their spirituality, they're using their intuition and even manifestation in their business. And corporate is still kind of stuck in the old world. And so my mission is to really bring forth heart-centered sales, intuitive leadership. That's what's happening with these small businesses that are just skyrocketing, is that they've really gone back to basics, and they're working from an intuitive, heart-centered space. And I believe that if we can get that into the corporate world, that's going to make a massive change in business and finances and the way that the money goes around in general.
Absolutely. And I have to agree with, as we move back to the basics, which is utilizing our natural skills, our gut instincts, and to utilize the abilities of collaboration, cooperation. And a lot of the corporations have lost that as they've grown so incredibly large. But in order for the world and us to truly start making these impacts, coming back to the basics is always the most profitable and easiest way in order for business owners and individuals to move forward. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And like you said, the corporations are so much bigger that they really have focused on competition as opposed to collaboration. And when we introduce collaboration, cooperation. That is truly uh, our innate want and need as humans. So the way that corporate America has been running is simply not even in tune with who we are, let alone the more enlightened and ascended we become. It just is further and further away from our true missions here on earth. So it just, we really need to move into that collaboration, cooperation, heart-centeredness, and intuition, even in the big companies.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. And, for the individuals who are listening, who of them or who of any individuals can use the intuition that they have in order to make money in business?
Absolutely everyone. Intuition is not, a God-given gift. It's actually a God-given right. Everyone has this intuition. We're born with it. It's innate. It's actually a skill that we can hone and make better, more precise, and extremely accurate. Anyone can do this, whether you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, if you're in sales and you're making commission, or even if you're in corporate America, a financial advisor. One of my favorite stories is a woman I was working with who she felt like she was in a position where she just couldn't rise anymore, right? She's in the banking industry and she was where she was. And through using her intuition and navigating opportunities, because we have endless streams of realities that we can tune into. And so by following her intuition, that guided her to her highest vibrating reality. And in that reality, she tripled her income and got a new job that took her to beautiful San Francisco and included all of her benefits. And it was an amazing quantum leap forward in her business. And she was in corporate America. She's truly in the banking industry. And I've had other clients who are solopreneurs and they go from making $2,000 a month to $20,000 or $25,000 a month by tuning into this intuition. It's an all-knowing, right? An all-knowing consciousness is omnipresent and it knows everything. It is always here, and we can tune into that via intuition.
And how would one start to tune into that for the individuals who are kind of new to this intuition, and they know they have it, but you specified that they can hone in that skill. So how does one hone in and develop it?
So what I've really learned is that it isn't so much getting the intuitive hits or messages or tapping and tuning in. Most people can do that fairly easy. It's actually taking the steps or the direction, the action steps given through that intuition. So people think that they don't have intuition because, number one, when it comes, they let it go and they don't listen to it, or they listen to it and they don't follow through and create an action plan from it. So the first step would really be start listening to your intuition. What's that first answer that comes up for you? What is that first pull? I like to say it does feel like a pull. It almost feels like if you're in the ocean and a wave comes behind you, but you're like in the deeper ocean, like chest level, and you just lift your feet up a little bit and that wave pulls you forward. That's really what flow and intuition feels like. So they get the intuitive hits really easily. It's really just the action steps, taking the divinely guided action. Intuition it's honestly pointless if we're not going to follow through with it.
And when you were mentioning that, when you first get that intuitive notion, when you first get that idea or that tug, that pull, one of the things that I follow and that I suggest for clients is the 5-second rule. And what that is involved in is, let's say you were intuitively pulled to turn left instead of right. Normally you turn left and you're going home, but you decide to turn the other way. Or maybe you got the intuitive hit to go to a bakery or someplace that you don't normally go to. If you can, within 5 seconds, put in action to that, even if you can't physically go there right at this moment, but you write it down and you go in, you set it up, then you're able to actually get more and more in tune with following it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I really agree with that. That 5 second rule is awesome because typically the intuition comes in and goes out really fast because our
Yes.
survival mode and our subconscious will say, that makes no sense. Let's do it the way we've normally done it. Or that makes no sense. We can't make money doing that. Or those numbers look horrible on paper. And that's really where people stop or never follow intuition, is because it is, unless it's something that you do regularly, intuition is fleeting. It goes by very, very quickly. It's that first instinct, that first thought. Some people almost don't even see, hear, feel it. So it is kind of slowing down, realizing what that very first initial inspiration or, that pull was, and going with it, despite what the following thoughts will be. Because the following thoughts will be, they'll be ego, it'll be programming, it'll be survival mode, logistics. It isn't actually going to be intuition. And that's typically the most challenging part for my clients or anyone who's doing this, is to get out of the mind and really drop into the heart and follow that intuition, regardless of if it makes sense or not.
Yes, and a lot of the times we will gather up all of the information for something, we'll put all of it together, we'll do all of our due diligence, we'll do all of our research, and the research says one thing, and then we'll sleep on it, and the next day we will make a completely different decision that's irrelevant from all of the work that we've done, because we've got that feeling, we've got that knowingness that even though the numbers are not right, the numbers might not be right on the paper, or maybe the research points to this direction, but we decide to go to the other direction. And that actually, it's like following breadcrumbs or following clues.
Right.
And in order to get to where the actual end result is. In this society, we are so conditioned to having instant results. Instant text messages, instant communication, instant, everything is instant. Even microwave food is instant, although maybe not necessarily healthy. And
Even intuition is instant.
Yes,
right?
it is.
What is not is the people following it. Interesting that we love all this instantaneousness, but when it comes to trusting ourselves and our own sourced information, that's where we stall. And the thing about intuition is there's no time and space. This consciousness is not saying, let's give this person a day to mull this over and see if they want to do it. It is very right here, right now. What's coming through is what's in your highest good right now. And my biggest suggestion would be to take it right then. Because with every choice and decision we make, our paths that are available to us, they shift.
Yes.
So if we pass that one opportunity, our highest good will always come back around, but you don't know when that's going to be. You'll probably have many intuitive hits before that one ever comes back along. So it's really about taking action right then and there and learning to be led by that intuition as opposed to sight, logistics, practicality. That's where the big shift needs to happen. And your confidence grows. The more you do it, the more you can say, my humanness does not feel safe, but I know my intuition never leads me astray. And then, you can work on that inner stuff. You can really take care of that inner work that needs to be done, that you feel unsafe from your own intuition, from your own source decision making. That's your hiccup, right? That's your own hiccup. That is actually not truth, and it isn't going to affect intuition working or not working for you. You can be afraid that it's not going to work, but it will still work. The point is you have to take the action.
That's true. That's true, is you do have to take the action. And even when you're feeling unsafe and or your intuition can keep you safe, an example of one of my former clients is she had this was before she met me, she had this notion that she should go pick up her mail right now, but she was like, oh, I've got the time, I'm on my way home, I'll just go to the mailbox, it'll be 5 minutes, no big deal. And she got assaulted at the mailbox, and she ended up begging for her life at gunpoint at the mailbox. And so following the intuition, even if it's irrational, even if it doesn't make sense, can actually save you from more frustration, harm, or trauma, in addition to really helping you, lead you to, being able to follow, how do you make your business go and how do you make your life go. And, we were talking about intuition and how it leads you to make money in your business in the beginning. And can you talk a little bit about, money is neutral in your opinion, and it holds no vibration unless we apply a frequency to that. Can you explain that mythology to me?
Yeah, so we're all vibration, we're all energy at different frequency levels, and money is actually neutral. A lot of people will connect it as something else, and the only reason why we can get money to that particular vibration is by applying that vibration to it. Money is totally neutral, which is why there's great people who have it and really crappy people who have it. It is only a reflection of who we are inside. It's a consequence, it's a follower. And so what we see in our own life is what money is reflecting back to us. Now, if we're in, so what my belief about money is that it is best at a frequency of love. Right? It's best at a frequency of love. It's best at a frequency of gratitude. It's best at a frequency of service. That's where I see money flowing effortlessly and peacefully and with ease. And that's where, when I'm in that vibrational state, that's where I make money. And so that's why we can have people who maybe are not so great, that vibrate at a lower level. They're still vibrating with, money is dirty, money is evil, money is filthy. And they will actually they will make that vibration because they've given it to money in order to make that. And that's really falling off the old way of making money. Just isn't going to be able to survive the higher frequency that the world is shifting to. There's the 100th monkey theory, where after a certain percentage, we hit that 51% at a higher consciousness, the rest either shift or they fall off. And we're going to continue raising vibration, and it really serves us to give our money the vibration of service, gratitude, and love, because that's what's going to be circulating. And money is actually not going to stop circulating. It may shift. It may shift the way it looks. It might look more like cryptocurrency. Whatever it's going to look like, it's still an exchange of energy. And if we can hold that vibration at the service, gratitude, love, that's really the reality that we're going to be creating. And we can have that in business. We can have that in corporations. We can have that in these huge, big businesses. But you see a lot of nonprofits now, and that's because they're still working in the third dimension, but trying to switch it to service and love. And so that's kind of like the first stepping stone that's getting us there. And it's a good one because we can see it, right? We can see it with our human eyes that the world is shifting, because we are moving from like the old way, the corporations, into nonprofits, which will then go into, it won't necessarily be so many nonprofits. They're amazing, and it shows the goodness in humans. But the corporations and the way that they're being ran now is going to flip. And it's going to be about cooperation, collaboration. When we have sales, it's going to be heart-centered, right? We're not going to be selling things so that we can make money. We are going to be offering services and products that are amazing for people. And then leadership, the intuitive leadership that comes, but we can't have intuitive leadership until we can lead ourselves with our very own intuition. And that's following that intuition even in the smallest moments, like turn left instead of right.
That's true. Absolutely. And we are almost at the end of our conversation. Can you give the audience one or two really good tips that they can take away with now to start moving forward in their business and in their lives?
Absolutely. The first step is knowing what you want. A lot of people are really flaky with what they want, and they don't have a clear vision. Right? I hear a lot of people say, I want to make $1 million, but you know what that looks like. You don't have to know what it feels like, but you know what it looks like. And I would say, write down everything that you want in your life, including that $1 million, and get really clear on what that would provide for you. Does that provide you 4 vacations a year for your family? Does that provide you freedom? Does that provide you being able to stay home with your children while you work? Everyone has their very own. So after you jot down that first list and that number that you want to make, a little arrow over and put down what that one list of having all that really gives you, right? And that's going to be your essences. Those essences are much deeper. That's more like freedom and mastery, self-mastery, your reality mastery, service. So these are the core things that what we really want, and what is laying on top of them are the illusions of $1 million or vacations or Mercedes. Those are just what's blanketing what we truly want. So to really getting to the core of what you truly want, for me, it's definitely freedom and making a difference. And then the second thing I would say is start using your intuition. When I first started getting really, really serious about it, I carried a journal around, and every time I had an intuitive hit, like that 5-second rule, I would take it down. And within a week, I just saw all of these synchronicities, all of the connecting dots. Everything was a sign. Everything was a code. And it was always leading me. It was leading me in a congruent direction. Right, all of these intuitive hits were going in the same direction. It was clear that it was for me to follow. And add that up over a month, it's even more obvious. And so, yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Well, those are really good suggestions. I really love the, take a journal, keep a journal and a notepad with you, and write down all of your intuitive hits, and then pay attention over time where they're leading you. It's almost like you're following an arrow.
Absolutely. They're codes and they're signs, and they're here for us to follow.
Exactly. And Megan, you have a free gift for our audience. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, I am offering a free 30-minute intuitive session with myself to discover what your highest path is. And that can be anything from money and finances and business to life purpose.
Wow. And how do they get a hold of you for that intuitive?
Yeah, so I'm going to add a link with my email address, and that is the best way to get a hold of me. I'm also on Facebook, Intuitive Business Collaboration.
All right. So, and what is the website so they can get a hold of you?
The email, actually, the website is not currently up. It's missmegan1988@gmail.com.
Fabulous. So people get in hold of you. It's best if they get a hold of you on social media, which you said on Facebook.
Yeah.
And can you repeat that really slowly and spell it out for individuals?
Sure. It's Intuitive Business Collaboration. And that's on Facebook.
Fabulous. So if you go to the Facebook, you go to Intuitive this business collaboration, you'll find Megan, and Megan will be able to get you connected, and you can also email her at missmegan1988@gmail.com.
Correct.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for being a guest on the Wealthy Wednesday show. This has been fabulous. I'm so excited that you've talked about the intuitive journal and how money and the vibration is, and how we are leading into a collaborative, cooperative future. So thank you so kindly for being a guest.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank you, my audience. Thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show. I am here to be of service for you. I am so excited to bring you topics that are in my list. I have a few more incredible guests coming up in the coming weeks. I also have some really fabulous information for you as you move forward. So please keep abreast on the Wealthy Wednesday show. If you're listening to us on the channels, please make sure you mark when we're going to be scheduled. And if you're on YouTube listening to us, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you will be informed on the new Wealthy Wednesday shows. So until next week, abundant blessings. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show. I'm your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I'd really appreciate it if you would share this with your friends, your family, your tribe, and let other people know that the Wealthy Wednesday show is creating a movement to make this world a better place, and we rely on you to get the word out so that we can create mass influence. So until next time, abundant blessings.